Hello everyone and welcome to this video. We're so happy that you're here. Moomin Language School is a digital language learning service for children aged 3 to 10, which is easily and cost-effectively adopted by any early learning organization. The service has been designed by a professional team of linguists, language teachers, early childhood educators, and experts of state-of-the-art technology. Our unique immersive learning method is based on research, and we have academically proven results from several countries. Our mission is to take language learning to the next level. In this video, I will be introducing our learning application and our online tools. So let's start with the learning application. So when the teacher logs into the application, they will see all their groups, and then by clicking the group icon, they can see the children in that group. And again, by clicking, they can access a child's progress. Each view like this is a week view, and each week has its own theme. So for example, the theme for this week is home. As you can see, we have 5 daily exercises, 1 for each weekday, and then we have 4 additional exercises each week. We have a language lab where children can record their speech and practice their pronunciation. Then we have a writing exercise where children can start to learn about letters by tracing them with their finger. Then we have a more creative exercise and a rhyme or a song for each week. I'll now show you the speak or the language lab exercise. So what happens there is the children first hear a word or a sentence, and then they can record themselves saying that word or sentence. They can then listen to the recording and compare it to the native speaker model.
Listen and repeat. Home.
Children can listen to the word or sentence again from here, and then they press here to record themselves. Home.
Home. Home.
So then the audio they recorded is automatically replayed as well as the native speaker model. I'll also show you the writing exercise.
Write the word.
Door. D.
Here the teacher can choose whether the children are practicing uppercase or lowercase letters. And then it's just tracing the letters with your finger.
D.
O. O. O.
Also, we have a playtime in the application to make sure that the children don't use it for too long, and the playtime is 5, 10, or 15 minutes. During these exercises, you can see a clock at the bottom right-hand corner, and if you put your finger on it, you'll see how much time the child has left. If the time runs out during an exercise, the child can still finish that exercise, but they can't start a new one. Then once a month we have a chapter test, which is another game-like exercise, but it's a little bit longer and it tests all the topics that the children have learned in that month. So it gives the teacher an idea of how well the children have learned the topics. Once the children finish this exercise successfully, they get a digital diploma to their profile here, and they can always go back to it. Here in the child's profile, we can also take a picture of the child in case they can't read their name yet, because the service doesn't require any reading or writing skills from the children. The picture doesn't have to be a picture of the child. It can also be a picture of their favorite toy or a drawing they've made or things like that. Then at the bottom left-hand corner, you can see a Moomin character, and by clicking that, you can access a character menu. Here, children can choose their favorite Moomin character to encourage them during the exercises. So when the children get stars in the exercises, the character will say something like, "Great, good job," and this way encourage and motivate the children. As you can see, the days are locked until the previous exercises are done. So when we're using the application through a child's profile, the exercises need to be done in order to make sure that children go through all the content. But teachers can access a kind of teacher mode to try out any exercise and to check out what kind of content is coming up. This happens by going to the settings. So here we have different kinds of settings. For example, the curriculum language changes the language being learned. Then the playtime can be set here as well. And then the teacher mode can be activated by clicking Access All Materials. Most of these settings require your password so that children don't accidentally go in and change the settings. So now the teacher can have a look at the different topics and chapters that we have. I'll show you, for example, week 16, where the topic is on the farm. So at the very beginning, we start with very simple language, so the children don't need to have any skills in that language when they start. But quite soon we move on to also sentences and grammar. So for example, on this week, we have quite a lot of sentences already, and we go through prepositions and singular and plural forms. So I'm just going to show you an example of what those exercises might be like.
Listen and choose the right picture from the bottom.
The hens are on the horse.
So here the children need to understand the plural and the prepositions, and of course the animal in question. I'm just going to click on the picture and drag it to the right place.
The hens are on the horse. The hen is under the horse.
And now if I choose a wrong answer, there's just a short sound that indicates that it wasn't correct, and then the child is gently guided to the correct answer. Like said, we have a rhyme or a song on each week, and for example, this week it's a song.
On the farm it's nice to be. There is so much you can see. Cows and pigs whoopee-doo. Hens and horses, yahoo!
Songs are great for language learning, and children absolutely love them. So throughout the application, we built a storyline focusing on two children, Lily and Tommy, and their friends. And the more language children learn, the more complex the stories also become. So here's an example. This week's theme is birthday party, and the first couple of days introduce the vocabulary that children need in order to understand the story. And then we have the story where Lily and Tommy get invited to Jim's birthday party. So I'm just going to show you the beginning of that story.
Look, Tommy. We have mail.
It's from Jim. He's inviting us to a party.
It's his birthday on Saturday. How exciting!
A letterbox.
And here we tie the new vocabulary into the story.
A letter.
An invitation. What should we give Jim for his birthday?
Jim likes coloring.
We should give him a coloring book.
A coloring book. And a box of crayons. A box of crayons.
And then they wrap the gift and make a card, and then they go to Jim's birthday party. So this is the learning application in short, and next I'll show you the online tools. So the online tools are especially for the teachers, and here they can manage the student groups, find the lesson plans, and view the statistics from the application. When the teacher logs in, they can find the link to the material bank where we have additional materials such as printable diplomas. So when the children get the digital diplomas in the learning application, the teacher can also print out paper versions and give them to the children to take home. Under Site, we have the group management. So here we have the different groups, and the teacher can create new groups and students, and they can manage them as well. Then the lesson plans are under Lessons, and we have one lesson for each theme or week. And we use this flipped classroom method. So the idea is that the children first use the learning application for 5 days, and then they have a playful lesson where they use the language they've learned with the application to communicate with each other and the teacher. This way, the teacher can focus more on communication and on any points that the children haven't necessarily quite understood. Since I showed you week 16 in the application, I could show you the corresponding playful lesson as well. So we always have a list of the materials needed during the lesson, and most of them are things that schools and kindergartens already have, but if they are specific to Moomin Language School, they are here as a PDF and they can be printed out. The playful lesson itself is divided into 3 parts. First we have circle time, then a theme section, and then a goodbye section at the end. We have quite a lot of songs and they've been recorded and can be listened to. For example, here we have Farmer in the Dell, which is also a circle game.
A farmer in the dell, a farmer in the dell, hey ho the dairy-o.
Then we have the theme section. So for example, this week we have a story and it's also been recorded so it can be listened to.
Once upon a time, there was a horse who lived on a farm. He spent his days.
And then there are instructions on what to do during the story for the teacher. We have all kinds of activities. So for example, miming the animals is a more physical activity, and then we have arts and crafts as well. And then we have the goodbye section, which is always the same. There's a goodbye rhyme, which can also be listened to. And then we give the children stickers as a reward and a thank you for their participation in the playful lesson. The last thing I want to show is the progress reports, which are under statistics. So here the teacher can first choose which child's data they're viewing, and then they can see the time the child has used in the application, the words the child has been introduced to, and then data on the different exercises. So how much time the child has used on the exercise, how many times they've done the exercise, and then the right and wrong answers. These reports can also be made available to parents, but they can of course see only their own child's reports. And these reports can be viewed as a week view, a chapter or a month view, or a year view. So this is our application and online tools in short. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and if you would like to know more, please head over to our website.